Hi everyone, welcome to Border Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie and this is a double shot of Object 140 action, the big tier 10 Russian medium tank. The first replay has been sent to me by my old mate Jezzalenko, your BEWTY from 1AR. I had the pleasure of catching up with all these three guys, Jezzalenko, IMC, Jimmy and Struth, amongst other people from 1AR clan on the live stream a couple of weeks ago. I think it was a Saturday night which IMC, Jimmy hosts on Twitch, and it was full of lots of laughs, lots of giveaways, lots of good times, and I think everyone had a pretty good time. Anyway, in this replay, Jezzalenko and Jimmy are both in their Object 140s, and Struth's in his trusty old T62A. We're on fields. And not a bad matchup. There's only 4 tier 10 tanks on the enemy side. Of course, 2 of them the T57 auto loader and the IS-4 and the dirty great big Conqueror gun carrier clicker. So Jezzalenko is moving up to the northeast corner with his platoon mates, and the T54s come to join the party. And you can see on the mini-map that the enemy, all the heavies, the enemy's advantage is with the heavies, and Jezzalenko's side's advantage is with the mediums. It looks like most, if not all, of the heavies are going down the 3-4 line down to the southern part of the map. Jezzalenko gets his first shot into that AMX CDC. He's going to have no trouble at all penetrating the armour in that thing. Gets another shot in, and so far he's dealt 644 damage without any in return. Tries to get another shot in, but he misses, but his 2 platoon mates finish the job. Struth picks up his first kill without giving too much away. He's going to pick up a few more. That T54 on the enemy side, he looks like he's just not sure what to do there. He's sitting there, he knows if he runs he's gone, and he's relying on that strong Russian turret to try and protect himself. Struth, Jezzalenko gets a critical hit onto the T54, shooting at the commander's hatch, and they're having a bit of trouble penetrating this bloke, and obviously they're all probably talking in TeamSpeak, and probably now's the time where they're saying, fuck this for a game of Skittles, let's get in there and put some more damage in. Jezzalenko gets another shot in, as does Jimmy, and Struth picks up his second kill. And now they're faced with the tier 9 autoloader, the T54E1, which is such a pretty good tank at tier 9. Jezzalenko gets a little bit up the hill. It looks like he's aiming his gun at Struth, but slowly chipping away. And it looks like he's on a reload now, the American autoloader. A shot that just went into Struth, I reckon that was from that T54. Struth picks up his third kill, and Jimmy picks up his second, taking out the German tier 8 artillery as Jezzalenko moves forward towards the enemy base. They've probably got their eyes on that T57 heavy, a pretty dangerous tank. They want to get him out of the game. They don't want that big auto-loading American thing shooting at him. And they do it in no time at all. Struth picking up his 4th kill. And that 1390 must be as nervous as a cat in a dog kennel. He is surrounded by 3 tier 10 medium tanks plus the tier 9 that's come along for the ride. But their team's in a bit of strife here. These blokes are certainly doing the job, but the southern and central part of the map is looking a little bit for concern. You can see the WZ132 on the enemy side. Looks like he's going on a bit of an arty run as these 3 platoon mates with the T54 start running through the centre of the map, trying to find out where all these enemy tanks are, trying to avoid them capping them out and searching for a little bit more damage. Jezzalenko not lucky enough to pick up a kill yet, but he has picked up 3,300 damage. And Struth and Jimmy both got 6 kills between them. Unlucky not to kill the IS-4, but the tier 9 does in the end, the T-54. Searching for a shot on that premium French tank. But they can hear the siren in the background going off. That's the WZ132. Looks like he was going to go for the cap, but now I can see he's going for the arty, which is what light tanks do. Light tanks love killing artillery. think Jezzalenko's thinking if he can get this WZ132 on his own, between him and Struth, they'll be able to take him out of the game. Looking at the mini-map, IMC Jimmy's going after that low, along with that T54. Pretty manoeuvrable, the Object 140. Even though it's a light tank that he's up against, he's able to keep him guessing and keep moving around. The Struth picks up his 5th kill. And now they're looking at that new French premium tank, the AMX M449 Liberté. Struth shoots from up the top. And Jezzalenko keeps him honest down the bottom. Looks like he's aiming at Struth, so Jezzalenko's going to pick up his 1st kill. It just leaves the T57 heavy, that low that Jimmy was chasing. Unfortunately, Jimmy come off 2nd best in that matchup. Might have been taken out by the artillery. Or the T57, he's got a few kills as well. Not a bad game so far from Jezzalenko, you beauty. But he wants some more damage. He's still got plenty of health there. He's only down to 1,354 hit points. That's not bad at all. So he can afford to take a few shots if he needs to. And so he's going forward looking for these other tanks. Probably don't need to worry about that arty. You'd think the T54 would be able to take him out of the game. Puts a shot into the T57 and another one, confirming the kill, and now it's just the low. Struth still climbing up the hill around the corner. And Jezzalenko keeping this low honest. But the low is still on full health. I don't know what the low's been doing this game. He's obviously been playing quite well. He's still on full health towards the end, even though all his teammates are gone. Jezzalenko bounces a shot from the low, but puts one into him, and then puts another one in. And Struth puts another shot into him as well, but Struth's down to 61 hit points, and that's where the low's focusing now, which is the right thing to do. But Struth picks up his top gun and gets killed at the same time by the low. That's a medal in itself, the eye for an eye medal. As we look at the post-game battle results, you can see not a bad result from Jezzalenko. Only a 2nd class mastery badge with all that damage, but just goes to show that a lot of people play the Object 140. It's a very popular tank indeed. He picked up the Bruiser, Fire for Effect, Confederate, and the High Caliber medal for doing the most damage in the whole game. And look at the 2nd page of the post-game battle results. An awesome game from Jezzalenko, 6,346 damage for his 2 kills. Struth, not a bad game at all from Struth, picking up a top gun, but nowhere near as much damage as Jezzalenko, 6,346 damage. That's good shooting. And you can see he fired 26 shots, 25 hit, so it's pretty accurate. Quite a few bounce though, and that would have been, there was a couple on that low, and there was a couple on some of those other heavier tanks towards in the start, in the middle of the game. And that T54, of course. And of course, IMC Jimmy, not a bad game either with his 3 kills. And nearly 3,000 damage. Made a bit of coin too, Jezzalenko, with his premium account. Nearly 40,000 credits, which isn't bad at all for a tier 10 battle. As we move on to the 2nd game in this double shot of Object 140 action. And it's our old mate MatchyHK from DPX clan. And his platoon with his old mate Tayon Saran. I guess that's how you say it. Tayon Saran, maybe. And Tayon's driving around his Object 907, which is Clan Wars reward tank. It was available some time ago, but might come back into the game soon. Now, Matchy's on Lakeville in this battle. And from memory, this isn't a bad game at all. And this goes to show in this replay that just because you're a top tier medium doesn't mean the lights have to scout for you. There's only one light on Matchy's side. Matchy's getting very aggressive on this lake road. He's lit up a number of enemy tanks. He's lit up heaps of them. He's already picked up a kill. And he's looking for some cheeky shots from behind this big rock on the lake road. There's the new Patriot tank, the T26E5. Looks like he might be coming after him, along with the French AMX M449. don't know if they're going to YOLO him or what, but MatchyHK putting plenty of damage in, as is his platoon mate, and of course he's spotting for his entire team. All these guys down with the Object 907, they'll be able to get sniping shots in, and of course Matchy's going to keep shooting at these bad guys as well. Gets another shot into the tier 8 heavy tank. One more should be enough. He does take a damaging shot though from the big French gun, but of course his gun's going to beat his reload, and he takes him out of the game, sends him back to the garage early, and that's his second kill. And now it's a case for old Matchy on the lake road to try to continue to spot those enemy tanks for his team, and also put in some cheeky snipey shots. Now, we don't know where the enemy artillery is, but if he's up at A1, I reckon Matchy will be safe. If he's out here, he might be in a bit of trouble if Hardy shoots at him, but you never know. He is taking fire, but he hasn't taken much damage, old Matchy. He keeps moving just to make it a little bit harder for anyone who might be sniping from the town, because Matchy's side doesn't have much of a presence in the town. Puts a blind shot into where he thinks they might have been shooting from, as the T-26C5 backs up and gets a shot into him, and now Matchy's in a bit of trouble here. He's copping fire from the town, tanks that he can't see. A big side shot from that IS-7. What can he do? These teams not in any trouble at the moment. They're up by 3-2. But he's still copping a bit of fire from that town. But that rock isn't going anywhere, so Matchy's going to be hugging that rock like his life depends on it, because it does. You can see he's flicking around a lot with the camera view. He's turning around to look to see what's happening on the other side of the map, how many are in the town. And because his team isn't really pushing into the town, he's making the most of getting a few shots into the town when he can. But of course that T-26C5, he knows that every time he does that, he's got enough time to back up, put a shot into Matchy, and then push back towards his rock. Of course Matchy hasn't got much area to move around with all those tanks shooting at him, but with the help of the Tortoise they get him out of the game, and now he can snipe like a champ. He's putting a shot into the AMX-50B, lucky enough to bounce one. Of course he bounces one in return, and he's just spotted the enemy French artillery. So he gets him, he tracks him and damages him. One more shot will do the job, and there's kill number 3 for our mate MatchyHK from DPX Clan in his Object 140. They're winning 8-3 now. A lot of that's because Matchy took that aggressive position on the lake road to light up all those enemy tanks, and now it looks like the enemy side are pushing into the city, so there's a bit of a evasive action here from Matchy to try and get around these dead tanks. They've died in pretty inconvenient spots, these blokes. Would have been a lot more concerned if they'd have left him a gap. Of course, let's see if he can manoeuvre around. You can see he's got, just changed the camera view, you can see he's got 2 marks of excellence on the barrel of his Object 140. And if he keeps playing like this, he'll pick up a 3rd one in no time. Now he's looking for some cheeky shots on that medium tank. He's aware that there was a tier 9 Waffenträger, the big German tank destroyer, around there somewhere, so he needs to be mindful of that gun, because he's only got 698 hit points at this stage of the game, even though his team are winning comfortably at 11-5. There's only 4 tanks left. There's the Waffle, but the Waffle's hiding. Can he get a shot in? He can, and the STA1 confirms the kill, and looks like Matchy is probably going to finish on this score of 3,860 hit points of damage, as well as 3 kills, for an awesome game in his Object 140 on Lakeview. And it was good enough for an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge. Even though he didn't do a huge amount of damage, he did plenty of spotting damage. And look at all those tanks that he spotted. Even picked up the Scout Medal, which is a good thing to see in a top tier medium. So many times you see a top tier medium player sitting back and sniping like a bitch, but not Matchy. He gets right in there and he gives it all he's got. Looking at the second page of the post-game battle results, even though he only did 3,860 hit points of damage, it was still the most damage from anyone in the team, but a base experience score of 1246 and the damage upon detecting spotting damage of 3,000, which is greatly contributed to his Ace Tanker Mastery badge. He fired 20 shots, 15 hit, and two of those 15 didn't do any damage, but that was enough for his Ace Tanker, nearly 4,000 hit points of damage and 3 kills. And again, another profitable match because of all that spotting damage. Of course, you don't need to pay for ammunition when you're getting spotting damage, unlike when you do the damage yourself. But an awesome couple of games from my old mate Jezzalenko, your BEWTY from 1AR clan, and MatchyHK from DPX in their Object 140. They obviously love them. It's an awesome little tank. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed. Take care, and I'll see you all next time.